It's the 6th of April and it's snowing outside, or at least it was snowing earlier today. Welcome to another episode of the MylesHighClub podcast. I am your host, Myles. Yes, and as I just said, again, it's going to be another cold and late night in the garage recording this podcast, but consistency is key, so there is no days off. I was just about to say 10 times better than I did last week. I don't think I'm fully recovered, but I do feel a lot better. But again, this cold weather and me sat in here in just a jumper and t-shirt is probably not going to help how I am feeling at the moment. But I hope everyone is well. Happy Easter. I know it's delayed, but it was just Easter weekend. It was just a bank holiday weekend. I hope you all had a great Easter. I hope you all ate fish on Friday and you ate chocolate on Sunday. I still don't know what chocolate has to do with Jesus rising from a cave, but you know what? Let's just skip over the religious part of it, so we don't want to anger anybody out there. Hope everyone is good. It's official. Well, is it? It's official. I am a vegetarian. I don't know if I'm waiting for like an applause or a cheer. In my head, someone clapped somewhere, so I'll take that. But yes, we've officially began our vegetarian life now. All the meat in the house is gone. There is no more meat in the house. Last week, when my podcast got interrupted, that was our first meat-free shop being done, coming home, that needs to get put in the freezer in the garage, because our freezer in the kitchen was full. So far, so good. What have we had? It's been very pasta-based at the minute. I think our official day would have been Saturday, I think. Yes, Saturday we had vegetable lasagna. Sunday we had leftover vegetable lasagna. Just didn't put my phone on silent. Monday, can't remember. No, yes I can. Monday we had a vegetable pasta bake. Well, we had pasta bake, but we put butternut squash, sweet potato, courgettes. Listen, I'm just getting started, okay? I am just getting started on this vegetarian lifestyle. I'll dive into the whole thing, the whole like turning vegetarian and all that, probably on another episode, not this episode. But if you watched last week's episode, Seaspiracy, the Netflix documentary, is the documentary that sort of tipped me over the edge. I've been battling becoming a vegetarian/vegan for a while. I stopped drinking cow's milk like 5-6 years ago. Went to almond, went to coconut milk. Now currently on coconut milk. We tried oat milk once, but no, coconut milk seems to be the way forward for us. But yeah, we're veggies now. And the one thing I realized about being vegetarian is when you're a meat eater, you don't have to do that much shopping. Like you can just have something in the freezer and be like, or the fridge, and be like, let's do this. But vegetarian, I realized you need to keep that fridge stocked. And this is going to be the hardest thing for me, because buying fruit and veg, that shit does not last. I might be buying it from the wrong place. So if you buy fruit or veg that's lasting more than 3 or 4 days, please let me know. But I feel like every time I go shopping, I pick up a box of strawberries, 2 days. Blueberries seem to last a bit longer, 4 or 5. Yeah, but fruit just does not last, and neither does salad or anything like that. It's just sick and tired of going into my fridge after a few days and seeing something growing fur on there. I'm just like, I didn't want this. I don't want this issue. But no, well, there is turning back. But at the minute, no turning back. We are living the veggie lifestyle. Anyone watching this is a vegetarian or vegan, send me as many recipes and as many meal plans and meal ideas that you have, because I can't think of any. I had sweet potato with beans and cheese the other day, because again, it's vegetarian. I don't think the only veggie meal I've deliberately cooked before would have been a pasta bake. I'm trying to think if I've ever made any other meal before that had no meat. I don't think I have. It only would have been a pasta bake. Usually it's just pasta, every kind of cheese I've got in the fridge. Sometimes pancetta would be in there, sometimes chorizo, sometimes chicken. Most of the time it was just pasta and cheese, nice and easy to make, especially when I'm working, I need to feed the kids. Just quick, put the pasta on, come back, put it all in a dish, mix the sauce in, sprinkle some cheese on top, whack it in the oven. It's literally as simple as that. So yeah, the life of a veggie is now going. I will update you, and I'll keep it 1,000. I will keep it 100 with you all. I'll be honest with you. If anything changes or if I fall off the wagon. But no, we are living the veg life. We have made one pact, which, I mean, I'm counting it that we've officially started our vegetarian life. But we have made one pack that when everything opens back up, we're going to go Miller and Carter just for one last steak. The amount of people I speak to that are virgins, vegan and vegetarians, they always talk about how they miss a steak. So it's red meat, probably the worst of the meats, that or pork. But, who cares? One last meal. It's going to be our last meat supper. And then we will continue on the veggie lifestyle. Mila is 2 years old. She doesn't know any better. So she'll, fingers crossed, she adapts to the veggie lifestyle. But she eats carrots. She loves them. And she ate the pasta bake. So, yeah. Hopefully everything goes to plan, and I will update you in a month or so on how the vegetarian life is treating me. Hopefully I can help shed some of this I don't know what to blame my weight on, apart from being lazy, but there's a bit of dad weight here, there's a bit of lockdown weight here, there's a bit of Christmas food treats waste, the Easter chocolate weight's now going to get added onto everything now. So yeah, oh my gosh, there's a lot. But in other news, I was going to say another good news. Other news, I got back on my bike as well. So anyone that knows me knows, it was this time. I think it was this time last year. I don't remember. I think it was around, it might have been like May, June. It was like May, June times last year, I think. I came off my bike, fractured my elbow. I did not touch my bike. The day I came back, I put my bike in the garage and I did not touch it for nearly a whole year. I might have touched it twice, and that was just to move it from one side of the garage to the other side of the garage because I was doing something. Or I was moving something around. But no, I think it was Friday, I want to say. Yeah, Friday, I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Got the bike out, got back on the bike. Did it feel good? It felt good. It did feel good. I forgot just how uncomfortable a bike seat is. There's the people out there that if you don't bike and you're thinking about getting into biking, let me tell you this now, for the first week, your ass is going to be so sore. I was sat down for 10 seconds and I was like, I remember this fucking seat is uncomfortable as anything. And I've got a memory foam cover. Like, I have a memory foam cover over my bike seat. So I don't know whether I need to buy a gel one or if eventually I will just get used to it, because I'm sure towards just before I fell off my bike, I was used to my bike seat by then. So I think it's just because I've had months and months, like I said, nearly a year off of not riding. Got the bike back out, carried on along my normal path. I was sticking to the route I was doing beforehand because I know exactly where I'm going. I know where I can pull over for a break. I've got a turnaround point where I can get to and then turn around to come back home. Did all that. Had to drive past the place where I fell off my bike. Had flashbacks, nearly fell into the canal having a flashback, but no, it's all fine. Everything's good. I'm a tiny bit safer now. I wasn't riding with a helmet beforehand because I was just like, I'm on the canal, I don't need a helmet. But yeah, I came off that bike. I am surprised I was this close. It's only because I couldn't find any ones with good reviews that I thought looked good, even though it's not the point of it. Elbow pads and knee pads. I was this close to buying elbow pads and knee pads, especially elbow pads, considering when I came off, I fractured my elbow. But I've been like, no, I've brought a helmet. I've got some bike gloves as well. I don't know, in case it gets cold or anything, but no, I've got the helmet. Keep my cranium all safe as well. But yeah, it was a good bank holiday. Ooh, sorry for the yawn. It's now 20 to 10. That's not the reason I'm tired. I finished football training probably just over an hour ago. So we have football training. I know you're thinking, Myles, didn't you say it was snowing? Yes, it was. It was literally snowing a good 2 hours before we had football training. It was like there was a blizzard coming down. At one point, it was that thick and fast. And it was very cold, which is why I've got a feeling it's going to be very cold for this as well. But my heater is on. I haven't got the heater set to full power because the more power I put on, the brighter that orange hue is, and it messed up my video last week. So the heater's on, but it's on low and it's near enough behind the phone, so I can't feel any of the heat. I'm hoping over time it does warm things up. But until then, I've got a nice little hot drink here to keep me going. But this weekend, the past 5 days, I don't know if it's a sign of global warming or what, but we had what? We had sun. I'd say we had sun most of last week. Wednesday, Thursday, it was sunny, and then bank holiday weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was all really warm. And on Monday, out of nowhere, there was it was the tiniest bit of snow. I don't even know if you can call it snow. Like, there was a few droplets, few icicles, few flakes, that's the term. There's a few flakes dropped, nothing happened. It was cold, but there was no like thick snow. Went to sleep, must have snowed overnight, woke up this morning. My roof was lightly covered. Again, it was probably not even an inch. There was just enough snow that it stuck so you could see it had snowed, but nothing major. And then, yeah, today, It snowed this morning, stopped, been cold all day, and then started snowing again, stopped. And then, yeah, like 5 o'clock-ish, it was just snowing for a good 2 hours. And I thought, here we go. It stopped snowing. Yeah, like I said, I went football training. There was a bit of snow there. It was cold, but when you're playing football and you move around, after 5 minutes, you don't really feel the cold. Only in your toes and your fingers. Everything else, my body was quite warm. But it's been a good weekend for me and my fitness. Got the bike back out, so I'm back on the bikes now. So again, in the week's going to be a bit harder because I've got to try and... I'm one of these people that I need to do things in the morning. When it comes to like fitness, gyms, things like that, I like to do it in the mornings when I have the most energy and the most motivation. So in the week, when I'm expected to work 9 till 5, half 5, it's going to be hard for me to get the motivation after a long day of sitting on my ass at my desk to get on the bike. But the weekends, 1000%, first thing in the morning, wake up, jump on the bike, go for a nice long hour and a half, 2 hour pedal. My legs are killing me. Again, my legs, I forgot about it. I got back the other day and I ran up the stairs and got halfway and had to stop and was like, Myles, you're not as nimble as you once were. You better take your time going up these stairs for your legs give way and fall back down. So until my legs feel fine again, even though I've just been running around playing football, it's anytime I go on an incline, I have to pick my moments to go up the stairs. Toilet and bedtime. Apart from that, I'm not going up the stairs. If someone wants something, they need to go up the stairs to get it themselves because my legs are out of order. But enough about me and my bank holiday weekend. Like I said, I hope you guys all had a great bank holiday weekend filled with fun. Let's get straight into some topic. Now, the first topic I know nothing about, so if you know nothing about, come along on this journey with me. And if you do know what's going on, please let me know. But last week at some point on Twitter, Coke was being cancelled. I don't know who by. I don't know what. Well, I now know who by, I think. But at the time, I was like, cancel Coke. I was like, what's Coke done? So then I did what I did. I just typed in Coke, searched on Instagram and Twitter. I was trying to look for an offensive advert. I thought maybe someone from Coke had done something. Maybe they used to grind down slave bones to make their Coke, because they used to use actual cocaine in their Coca-Cola, which is why it's called Coca-Cola. So I had no idea what was going on. I've got a little bit of a story that I had to read for myself from, is it Vice? Yeah, this is from Vice, because I had no idea what was going on. But it seems in America, the Republican Party are trying to cancel Coke, or they want to cancel Coke. And again, this is apparently because the Republicans want to cancel Coke because Coke as the company came out and criticized their new voter laws, which a lot of people are saying are like new voter suppression laws. So again, I've seen bits of this about people moaning about the laws that are being passed in Georgia, but I don't live in America, so I don't always pay the most attention to a lot of these stories. I just see it and I'm like, and then I keep it moving. But the headline of this is the GOP is making it harder to vote in Georgia to ensure they never lose again. Which, again, how do people do this? If you don't know what GOP is the Republican Party. Why is it called GOP? Grand Old Party. So apparently that's the traditional nickname for the Republican Party, and the abbreviation is GOP. So the Grand Old Party. Don't know about you, that just sounds hella racist. Again, you're probably thinking, why? Grand, what do they call the person that's in the charge of the KKK? Don't they come off the Grand High Wizard or something like that? So yeah, it just sounds like a racist party. But that seems to be what is happening over in America. So I was like, how are they suppressing voters? How are they suppressing voters' laws? So then again, we went into it. So again, the Democrats won Georgia for the first time in a generation last election, and the Republicans want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So apparently the GOP-controlled Georgia legislature moved to pass a pair of bills on Monday to make it significantly harder for people to register and cast their ballots. So the two pieces of legislation lay out a smorgasbord of new voting restrictions in the state that would make it much harder to vote. Now, I'm going to talk to you while I'm reading through this so I can fill in time and you guys aren't just sat there listening to me. But apparently, what seems to be happening is these laws aren't affecting everyone. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're very racial in charge or anything, but the bill would end no excuse mail voting that doesn't require an excuse like travel or provable medical reasons for all voters under age 65, and create even stricter voter ID requirements for all those that still do. Again, I'm just trying to find the bit why it explains. So Georgia's system already made it harder for black people to vote them for white counterparts. Okay, 2/3 of the polling places that had to stay open late because voters were still waiting in line in Georgia's 2020 primary elections were in black neighborhoods, according to Georgia Public Broadcastings. Oh, okay. So because voters were still waiting in line, 2/3 of the pollings that happened were in black neighborhoods. I think that's a good thing. Who knows? These hold on. When 2022 election comes around, we won't be able to vote in the ways we used to for the past 15 years, and it will be perfectly clear who's responsible for rolling back the hands of time and returning Georgia to the Jim Crow era status quo of voter suppression. So yeah, it looks like once again, I'm not those people. You know who you are. Either evil white people are coming up with more ways, it seems, in America to stop black people voting. Why? It seems that the state of Georgia was Republic. Democrats won it this time. I think they have stats for how many people voted. There must have been an increase in black people voting. So now they want to change the laws. How these laws affect black people, I don't know, but I will do more research into it. Because again, sometimes I just want to Google something and I just want bullet points of why it makes it harder for people to go through. The bills could cause significantly longer lines for black, young, and urban Georgia voters that could depress Democratic turnout in the state, while disenfranchising people without identification who tend to be poorer than the overall population. So there's one bit of it. The motivations are really suspect because it's introduced immediately after voters of color dramatically increased their use of absentee voting this past year. There's been no evidence that our elections aren't secure. There's been no evidence that any of these things are fixes that are actually needed. So again, it seems from what I've just read is last year there was an increased vote by people of color. There was an increased vote of them, which helped the Democrats win. So Republicans are like, we don't want that to happen again. Let's make it harder for these people to vote. Again, like I said, I don't know everything. I'm just reading what I've got in front of me from vice.com. So I was going to say interesting, but is it interesting with America? Also, what's going on in America is, I saw a great video on Instagram, and it's a woman, and it says Derek Chauvin. Fuck him. I don't need to pronounce his name correctly. It said Derek Chauvin. It was like, the video was like the woman saying, I know a few people are having troubles trying to pronounce his name because it's French. The correct pronunciation is murderer. So if you don't know who Derek Chauvin is, he is the waste of flesh, skin, bones, organs, hair follicles of a human being that had his knee on the neck of George Floyd for 8 minutes and 43 seconds, I want to say. Okay, yeah. But yeah, he's currently going through a trial now. And all sorts of things are coming out. You've got, here we go. Sorry, hold on. I'm just trying to find something that just tells me, just tell me, obviously he's been accused of murder. There's a bunch of people coming out going against him, which I don't know why they didn't come out when all this was happening, the whole blue wall of silence again. But there's a lot of people coming out now. I think you've got, what's his name? The chief of police. Yeah, so the chief of police has come out and said that Derek Chauvin violated policy by kneeling on George Floyd's neck. So that's the Minneapolis police chief. I don't need to hear anymore. The trial should end there. I don't even want to watch the video because I can see the video on my phone. But apparently it's week 2 of the murder trial has been underway. The head of the Minneapolis Police Department said he violated policy by kneeling on George Floyd's neck. There we go. Don't need to hear anything else. Apparently, kneeling on his neck was not part of the department's training, ethics, or values. I don't need to hear anymore. I swear to God, there's police out there that if they pull their wrong gun out or turn up late, get fired. Meanwhile, this guy killed a black person, and what, a year and some later, we are still waiting for this. Let's, you know what? Woosah. Let's move on from him. We'll talk about it, not in detail, but we'll cover this when the trial is over, and hopefully that policeman gets arrested, found guilty, fired, not suspended with pay, not released from duty, not allowed to quit. He needs to be fired and arrested. And shows with those other police officers with him as well. Those other four, the other four police officers that were with him, that just stood there and stood by and watched him do it and let him do it, didn't tell him to get off or anything. There was an eyewitness that said George Floyd said he couldn't breathe over 20 times. Over 20 times he was telling that person he couldn't breathe. He must have, let's not get into it, but rest in peace, George Floyd. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to George Floyd. Rest in peace to every other innocent black soul that had their life taken away by police. I could sit here and start reading out names. Oh, we'd be here for a long time. It would just be me reading out names as a podcast. I should do that as a podcast special, actually. Just sit there reading out names. What's next? Right on my docket. I have got social media liars, but I can't be asked to talk about them. You guys know who I'm talking about. There's all these people out there that keep making these, whether it's a prank video, I keep seeing it. What give it me was I keep seeing it with cooking videos and other videos, and I feel like what's happening is I feel like white people, not all white people, I feel like some white people who can't cook, because there are white people out there that can cook, but there are white people out there who can't cook, or they try extravagant, we'll say, or different ingredients for their food that the black people I see on Instagram and Twitter don't necessarily agree with. So there's a lot of the black followers I follow, but they tend to make videos when they see these crazy people cooking the weirdest shit online. And I feel like it's now become a trend for people to deliberately just make weird shit. Like, there's one video of a woman cooking pasta. She's cooking noodles in the bath. She literally runs a bath, throws all the noodles in there, and then just starts throwing in anything. I'm talking Skittles, sweets, chocolates, herbs. And she's there standing in it and mixing it all in. And you can just tell from the way she's acting, she's doing this on purpose to get a reaction. I mean, it's not necessarily trying to get a bad reaction. It's just, come on, humanity. We can do better than this. What else? What else have I got? There was another one of, is it Getty Spaghetti? Or don't Google it. Don't try and find it. I'll explain what it is. This woman has pasta, raw spaghetti pasta. She then wraps that pasta, only the middle section, bear in mind, she wraps that middle section in a beef patty. So already, you've got uncooked pasta being wrapped in uncooked beef patty. In the video, from what I can tell, she then fries the beef patty, so she's cooking the burger, but not the pasta, puts it into a dish, adds all of her, what is she? Is she Greek? Turk? Oh, I'm really bad now. She's from a European country, because she says, these are spices from this country. And I don't know why I'm blaming the Greek, but I feel like she said these are Greek spices, but I could be wrong. She throws the spices in, pours some sauce in. It seems normal, like the meal in itself is weird. The fact that you've wrapped a beef patty around raw spaghetti and then cooked the burger, but you've still got raw spaghetti in the middle, confused me. She put all the ingredients, spices. She's like, this is a Greek spice, did the whole Salt Bae thing. Pour some weird sauce on it. And then, just when you thought to yourself, this is weird, it can't get any worse, she adds nerds. Apparently the nerds will the sugar and release flavor. And while this is going on, whoever's recording this, her boyfriend, husband, brother, friend, whatever man is behind the camera recording this, he's not feeling what's going on. Like, I don't think he was in on this joke. I think she told him she was being serious, because when she wraps the beef patty around the raw spaghetti, he's like, oh. And then when she's adding all her other ingredients and sauces, he's like, oh. And then she puts nerds, and he's like, hold on, what, you putting nerds on it? And she's like, yeah, it releases the sugars to give you that flavor. And he's like, okay. It's like he got told to record and he didn't know what was going on. She then puts it in the oven, takes it out of the oven, and it doesn't look edible. She eats it. Whether it's the same thing she made as to what she pulls out the oven, who knows, but it doesn't look nice. She eats it, and it's just, ugh. And it brought me back to what I spoke about this before, but I literally, Friday. I only remember it being Friday because I don't care. Some of my friends came around. Listen, I have not followed lockdown rules since the first lockdown. And even then I wasn't following lockdown rules. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people. Hate me, love me. I really don't care. Yeah, do what you want. But yeah, some of the boys came around on Friday and we were watching, you get stuck watching YouTube videos. We were watching YouTube videos and we were just watching pranks that backfire. And I don't know why it was shocking to me, but the most shocking thing to me was these people are pulling out pranks to get a reaction of some sort. Because what was happening, I was watching all the pranks that I can think of that I was watching. This is how stupid these pranks are. And what triggers me even more is the people that are doing these pranks deliberately target certain people. They literally, you can tell all their videos, they're always in a hood or a block where they obviously don't live or don't belong, because you hear people saying, get out of here, getting run off the block, because they're obviously not from there. And it's always young black men. I never see them getting white. Some of them did white men, but normally it's never white men, white women, black women. It's always black men because they know they're going to get a reaction. Because we just leave us alone. As black people, we've gone through so much. Leave us alone. I don't need you to come over here pranking me. Go prank someone that's actually that's willing to be pranked. But back to it. I saw pranks of, there was one guy, I think he's called, fuck him, not giving anyone their names. One guy was walking up to people and just taking their food. Like he'd walk up to people, sit down, and then just start taking their food and acting like the food was theirs. That's one. There's another one where this guy was walking up to people asking if they've got a gun for sale. There was another person walking up to people asking it, what's your problem? There was another guy that would walk up to people and he would say, can you give me the directions to this place? They'd say it's down there. He'd be like, how'd you get down there? He'd be like, just walk down there. And then he'd look at them and go, don't ever tell me what to do. Basically, all these pranks were doing to aggravate people. And the strangest thing about it is they do this. There was one of them where he stepped on people's trainers. Deliberate, and again, you're probably thinking, if someone steps on my trainers, I'm not going to get mad. If you're wearing, he's going out of his way to find someone wearing really nice trainers, probably white trainers, the trainers that look brand new. He's not walking up to anyone in any trainers. For example, because they were by the front door, I'm just wearing my old trainers that I wear to walk the dog. So if someone stepped on these, I'd be annoyed because you're stepping on my toe and you've done it out of a disrespect, but I'm not going to be truly annoyed over the shoe. Whereas this person was deliberately stepping on people's shoes. Back to the story. With all of these things, what would happen is they would carry out the prank and they would fully commit, they'd walk up to someone, they would start the prank and they would see they're getting a serious reaction from someone who is not playing. That doesn't stop them. They literally keep on going until they either get chased. One guy was doing it because no one was catching him. He'd literally do it from afar, get chased and run off. There was another guy that was walking up to people and handcuffing them to chairs and poles and taking cigarettes off them and throwing the cigarettes or throwing water on them while they were smoking. Listen, you can't play. I don't smoke cigarettes, but you can't play with some people when it comes to things like this because you don't know what they've been going through. And that cigarette might be the only thing stopping them from snapping. But again, another tangent. All these videos are the same. They approach people, carry out their pranks, and then people switch. And as soon as that person flips out and they get grabbed or someone swings on them or someone starts chasing them, you hear them, no, stop, please, stop, it's a prank, and then you just hear them copping please, begging for their lives, saying it's a prank, there's a camera, and then there was very few in the video I was watching, some people actually laughed. They were like, oh, ha, very funny. Most people didn't find it funny. A few occasions, some people didn't stop. They heard them say camera, and they were just getting stomped out, punched up. And no one was coming to help them. The cameraman was just standing back from a distance, shouting it's on film, not trying to get involved. But the thing that really and truly shocked me, I don't know why it shocked me, because they're obviously doing it for the reaction. There's one video I told you of some guy that keeps taking people's food. He keeps taking people's food. He takes someone's food, thinks it's a joke and stands up, and this guy drops him. I'm talking, just hits him straight in his mouth, drops him. Hit him so hard, his tooth cut a hole in his mouth. For those on the podcast, I'm sort of rubbing my bottom jaw. I'm just rubbing on my chin, like to the side of my chin. I'm sort of rubbing. Like he had a hole in his mouth there, and he had no idea it was there until the camera person told him, and they both were happy. They were both excited. There was another one where the guy got punched. I'm sure he falls asleep for about 3 seconds, gets punched, gets picked back up, and the guy's like, "You okay? You okay?" And they both start laughing. I'm like, "That was fucking awesome." And I just don't get it, because what's not fair is, one, before I say this, you can't, this is from Charlemagne the God, but you can't tell someone how to react. It's as simple as, you can't tell someone how to react. For example, if I walk up to person A and slap person A might go and call the police. If I walk up to person B and slap person B might slap me back. If I walk up to person C and slap person C might kill me. Now, all three of those options, neither of them, that you can't tell someone, "Oh, you shouldn't have called the police, you should have hit him back." Or, "You shouldn't have hit him, he disrespected you, you should have killed him." Or, "You shouldn't have killed him, you should have called the police." You can't tell someone how to react. All you can control are your actions. Leave people the fuck alone. But what's going to happen one day? Because I want to see... I don't care. I want to see it. I want to see one of these dumb fucking pranksters pull a prank on the wrong... No, I don't. I don't want to see it because it's unfair on the wrong person. Because I was going to say, I want to see person A walk up to person B, prank them, and then person B kill them on the spot. Right there, whether it's gun, stabbing, beating them to death, throwing them off something, throwing them into oncoming traffic, whatever it is, these pranksters deserve it. I don't think, "Oh, Myles, they're just having a bit of fun. It's only a joke." No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke if I'm not in on it. Sorry, it's just not a joke. That's like me walking up to one of you lot. Imagine you're at work. I want you to imagine you're at work. Someone walks in, dressed as a policeman, sits you down and tells you that your mom's dead, or your dad's dead, or if you've got kids, your kid's dead, or your brother, your sister, your significant other, someone you care very much. Imagine someone walks into your workplace. So you're at work. If you're somewhere that you can't use your phone, even worse, because you can't even check your phone. Policeman, it's a prank. He's dressed up like a policeman. You think it's real. Tells you a relative's dead. Imagine that. Now you start breaking down, emotional, and then they're like, "Ha ha, got ya. It was a prank. They're not really dead. Ha 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 ha." However you decide to react to that is up to you. If you wipe your tears and go, "Huh, got me," I don't agree with it, but it's up to you. If you stop crying and storm out of the room, probably the best option. Again, I don't disagree with you doing that. If you put your hands, feet, elbows, knees, heels all over this person to whatever extent, for a few seconds, for a few minutes, until they stop breathing, until their legs start twitching, whatever option you go for. Again, I might not agree, but I don't disagree as well. Because again, you can't control it. And these pranksters, it winds me up so much. You'd think I'd been pranked. I haven't, as far as I'm aware as well. As far as I'm aware, I've never been pranked. I've never had anyone come up to me and prank me. And please don't. I don't carry anything on me. But just leave me alone. Don't push me into doing something that I don't need to do. Okay, I've got a daughter. I'm trying to be a good father here. I'm trying to be in her life. I don't need someone coming over here and ruining that. No, you should get arrested. If someone comes up to me and pranks me and I whoop their ass, they should get arrested, not me. I should be free to go. That was self-defense. I was provoked, okay? I thought my life was under threat. Don't come over here and prank me with your stupid fucking prank. Like, some of the pranks, for example, imagine walking up to random in America, of all places. Imagine walking up to America in rough areas, rough neighborhoods, walking up to people and saying, "Do you want to buy a gun?" Or, "Do you have..." One of the guys has got a water gun tucked behind him. He walks up to people and is like, "Do you want a gun? Do you want a gun? Do you want to buy a gun?" I might have spoken about this one before, but I watched it again. Literally walks up to these three black boys, walks up to them and goes, "Yo, do you want to buy a gun?" They look around to see if there's any police cameras, anyone watching, and say no. They literally, in unison, all jump up. He pulls it out from behind him and says, "No, I've already got one." I've never heard someone scream crime so quick. And I have a 2-year-old. But I've never seen tears and a scream come out of someone so quick. And that's what you get for playing. And what would have been worse is that boy that would have shot and killed him probably would have got in way more trouble. Even if he didn't kill him, he would have got in a lot more trouble. And I don't think that's fair. Whether or not that gun was illegal, whether or not he's allowed to carry that gun or not, if you had left that man alone, never ever would have happened. Never would have happened. Yeah, it all just comes down to, what will people do for likes? That's my, like, what would you guys do? What would you do for likes? Like, what's the most you would do for like? People upload pictures of themselves. You might upload a picture of scenery. You might upload a picture of your food or an event or wherever you are. You might see something and say, boom, I like the look of this. Some people make videos. You might just be thinking something and think, you know what, let me put this on a video. Let me talk to the camera for a bit. Let me start a podcast, gaming channel, a makeup channel, a fashion channel, a blog, a vlog, whatever. All these things, to me, are acceptable. But for like messing with people for likes, no, I just don't agree. And again, I know what some of you are saying, Myles. I thought you liked Impractical Jokers. Does that not make you a hypocrite? To me personally, no. Because like I said, again, if you catch someone on the wrong day, there might not be something, there's no such thing as harmless, okay? Like, to you, what a harmless prank. Like, again, they might think walking up to someone, I know, they don't think walking up to someone and saying, do you want a gun or have you got a gun is a harmless prank. They know it's not a harmless prank. They know what they're doing. Impractical Jokers, I feel like all their pranks are harmless. For example, there's one prank where is it Sal? Is it Sal and Joe? No, it's Sal and Joe or Sal and Mer. It's basically two people stood with each other in the middle of like a busy town or something. And their goal is to get a high five. And every person that misses your high five, you have to take off an item of clothing. So it's like they put their hand out for a high five. If they get the high five, boom, it goes to the next person. If you don't get your high five, take off an item of clothing, goes to the next person. First one to get naked loses. Again, depending on who's around, it can be harmless, but to me, if someone walking on the street and someone puts their hands up for a high five, I either high five them or I don't. I keep it moving. They have got some which are a bit more tricky, like the ones where they are in a supermarket and they're like putting pens in someone's pockets or they're trying to attach a balloon to someone. Again, catch the person on the wrong day, they might be like, what are you doing? But again, to me, it's all subjective. To me, they seem like harmless pranks, okay? And when they're not harmless, it's on them. It's not on other people. The prank is always on them. So like they've always got to say something or act a certain way. So I don't know what to say. It's one of those. If you're watching this, please leave people alone. That's my message. Please leave people alone. And that's, if you're going to take anything away from this conversation, this podcast today, that's it. Leave people alone. Let them be. Mind your business. Do something harmless for likes. What else have we got? Oh, another hashtag that was going off this week is no vaccine passports anywhere. This is a funny one because I see there's a lot of smug people on the internet at the minute. I feel like there's always been smug people on the internet, but there was COVID dropped at the start of last year. Apart from the serious conspiracy theorists, I believe everyone believed in COVID. As far as I can remember, everyone believed in COVID. I heavily believed in it. Again, like I said, at work were cancelling flights to places, Premier League, NBA, fuck up, the Olympics. The biggest sporting event in the world, possibly the biggest event that happens. It happens once every 4 years. I should ask this on my Instagram, but someone tell me, is there a bigger event than the Olympics? It's not the Super Bowl. It's not the NBA Finals. It's not the Champions League. It's not the Euros, the World Cup, possibly. I still would put the Olympics as a bigger event than the World Cup, purely because the Olympics has way more countries involved. But again, and there's football in the Olympics. They have football in the Olympics. I'm sure they do. So to me, Olympics is the biggest event that happens, like continually happens. I'm sure when Michael Jackson died, it probably would have overshadowed the Olympics if it happened around the same time. I'm sure there are people now that if they passed away, it would be a massive event. There are people out there that would argue things like 9/11 might have been bigger than the Olympics. I'd argue to Americans, but to the worldwide, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. I mean, 9/11 happened and Jay-Z and Fabulous still managed to sell albums, and they're New Yorkers. But yeah, so again, I've gone off tangent again. Coming back into it, start of last year, COVID came out, everyone believed it. As things went on, we started to, it depends on who you are, you started to see things that just weren't adding up. For example, Italy went into lockdown and then England went into lockdown 3 weeks later. We were still letting people fly in the country and fly out of the country. We were still allowed to go essential food shopping without masks. Do you guys remember this? Do you remember last year, probably this time last year, you were still allowed to go and buy your food. You didn't have to wear a mask. They introduced the social distancing. Then is when they brought masks in. When they started making masks mandatory, that's when you started to see all these people start talking about, oh, I don't know if it's true. And then we came out of lockdown, went back into lockdown. We're getting all sorts of different information from different scientists. There are some people saying that COVID's deadly. You've then got people who are getting infected by COVID and shaking it off. And it's a whole thing. But the big thing was COVID came out last year. There were a bunch of people towards the middle of last year and the end of last year that were saying, when they started having these talks about vaccines, they were like, this is where it starts. They're talking about vaccines now. Next thing you know, they're going to force everyone to get a vaccine, or they'll start saying if you're not vaccinated, you can't go to certain places. Those people were called conspiracy theorists. They were called crazy. They were called all the names underneath the sun by people that, for some strange reason, just believe whatever the government tells them. Again, that seems like a conversation for another day, but there are people out there that no matter what the government says, they just eat it up and they believe it. Not everyone's like that. Well, here we are, over a year since COVID first, the quarantine lockdown officially started. Apparently they've vaccinated over half the adults in the UK or Britain, they said, have had at least one vaccination jab, which I don't know how true. Is that true? I don't feel like that's true. That seems like a lot of people, but I don't feel like it's true. But that's what they're saying. And they're now saying a list did come up, and I haven't got the list. But here we go. Passport. But it's come out that they are now going to do a vaccine passport. And if you don't have the vaccine, then you won't be able to enter certain establishments or go to certain places. Again, I am trying to find where it was saying that where you can go and where you can't go. Off the top of my head, what I remember where you can't go was things like abroad, theaters, stadiums, concerts, nightclubs, I think was on there, and the cinema, which, motherfuckers. I understand. I don't agree. I understand bringing this rule in for places like stadiums, theatre, anywhere where they're going to have a large, massive crowd. If you think that this thing's real and it's going to spread, yes, I understand. But the cinema, how many people does the cinema hold? Like 100? Surely you could just put people in the cinema. All you've got to do is just take out 2 chairs, or cover off 2 chairs so that there's a 2 and then 2 chairs gap. 2 chairs, then 2 chairs gap. 2 chairs, and you get the idea. I'm not going to do that for every seat in the cinema. But let's just do that and carry on. But then, again, this is all, I don't know if anything's been signed off or if anything's come through yet. If you don't have the passport, you can still do things like go shopping, go to pubs, which confused me. I'm like, what's the difference between going to a pub and going to a nightclub? I've been to some nightclubs where some nightclubs that were pubs in the daytime and turned into a club on the nighttime. So I'm not too sure what else people want me to say about things like that. But let me see if I can find the vaccination passport, because everyone's going on about it. Who's not going on about this vaccination passport thing? I'm trying to see it. It's smart. It's very smart if you're trying to control the population by saying, look, we're not going to force you. They're saying we're not going to force you to get the vaccine. But they're not directly forcing you to get the vaccine. They're indirectly forcing you to get the vaccines. Here we go. Again, I don't know how true this is, or if it's going to come in. But COVID passports in the UK needed if you want to visit a major sports stadium, nightclubs, festivals, theatres, concert venues, and cinemas. Not needed if you want to go to the pub, restaurants, non-essential shops, buses, trains, and hotels. This is where it doesn't make sense to me. Buses, trains, and hotels, they're all forms of transportation. It's basically those 3 things, buses, trains, and hotels. They have the largest gathering of traveling people. Hotels, people travel from all over to come to a hotel. Trains, people use trains to travel. Buses, people use them to bus. So why would you not need a passport on these things when that means I could possibly get COVID, get on a train, that train's going to go for every city with people getting on and off, taking it all, spreading it all around. Meanwhile, I can't go to a fucking local cinema just in case David from around the corner's got COVID and wants to go to the same cinema screen as me. Again, I'm not a politician. I don't know their thinking behind these things, but it does seem that a lot of these rules and a lot of things that they're coming up with that's apparently to try and help us or to try and protect us. It's not the way. It doesn't seem to be the way. It doesn't seem to be well thought through at all. It's just now they're saying they're not too sure whether or not we're going to be able to travel in the summer. So they're saying they're going to be saying stuff. What do they say? Summer holidays. They're saying that basically abroad summer holidays are probably not going to happen this summer, or they're not going to allow it to happen this summer. I think they recently changed the restrictions on how you can travel. Oh, that's not some one there. They've changed the restrictions on how you can travel and where you can travel to. I think it's basically you can only travel for a wedding, funeral, or work. I think I could be wrong, but if you are watching this and you're not in England and you want to hire me, I will, wherever you are, Amsterdam, Jamaica, Barbados, Bora Bora, Philippines, Singapore, wherever you are, if you want to hire Myles to host, I'm a great host. I do hosting. I've been asked by some friends to do hosting actually when the clubs open back up. Get on the mic, get the crowd hype. Huh? See what I did there? Just a little tease of what I can do. What else is there? Yeah, it's just these passports. The whole thing. Apparently they're doing documentary on COVID. Like, who cares? I don't want to see a documentary about the first year of COVID. It's just fucking, we're still in COVID. The first year's only just gone past. I don't want to see a documentary of Matt Hancock and the rest of the fucking UK government fucking shit up for God knows how long. And then you look at places in America like Florida, Texas, Atlanta, or Georgia, should I say. These places don't have, they're all open. They're just open. Pubs, clubs, everything that you want to do, events, parties, it's all open down there. I haven't heard about any mass deaths coming out of those states, and they might keeping it secret. But again, how long can they keep it a secret for if it was truly alarming numbers of people dying from COVID out there? That's just my thought. It's just my thought. You guys get in the comments below and let me know your thoughts on it. But that's enough of the topics. Let's get into What's on the Box, the weekly segment where we talk about all the things, movies and TV shows, trailers that I've watched, that you've watched. Are they worth watching? Who knows? Let's get... I'm trying to think what to start. Right, I'll start with Irregulars. Irregulars is I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm on episode... I swear to God, I should get a sponsor from Netflix because I talk about either Netflix or a show on Netflix every week. Basically, Irregulars, here's the description. A crew of misfits investigate a series of supernatural crimes in Victoria, London for Dr. Watson and his shadowy associate, Sherlock Holmes. Main reason I clicked on this is for two reasons. One, I saw a series of supernatural crimes. I was like, I like watching crime programs. I don't mind supernatural. It depends how supernatural. Like, I don't mind watching some supernatural stuff. That doesn't bother me too much. And then it said Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. I don't know why. I'm just a big fan of Sherlock Holmes. As bad as they were they bad? I mean, they're not the best, but the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies, those two movies, I'm a fan of them. Like, I will watch them happily. If they come on, I won't turn them off. Sometimes I'll even go out my way to put them on because I just enjoy it as a film and I enjoy Robert Downey Jr. as them. Sherlock, is it called? What's it called? Is it Sherlock? Is it Sherlock Holmes? Starring Benedict Cumberbatch? No. So Sherlock Holmes is the movie. And then you've also got, I think it's just called Sherlock, you know. Yeah, it is. It's just called Sherlock, which was the TV show, the UK. This is the UK's Sherlock Holmes. It was just called Sherlock. Starred Oh, what's my man's name there? It's Benedict Cumberbatch and is it Martin Freeman? Yeah, Martin Freeman. Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes, Martin Freeman as Dr. John Watson. Oh, it was really good. 4 seasons. There's some bits up in the air about the 4th season, but 4 seasons, 3 episodes a season, 1 hour long episodes. I thought it was really, really good. And then you've got the American version, which is known as Elementary, they did a great twist because it's Johnny Lee Miller as Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. Hold on. I'm trying to see if this Johnny Lee Miller has been in anything else. He's been in a few things, but he doesn't look like he's been the main in a lot of things for you to know him. He was in Dark Shadows. He was in T2 Train Spotting, but I couldn't tell you what his role was in that film. But yeah, Elementary. Hold on. Here we go. It's just loading for me. Elementary starring him and Lucy Liu as Dr. Watson. So I like the twist of instead of having it male and male, it's always been they put Lucy Liu as Dr. Watson. They kept Sherlock and Elementary both have the similar tropes. Sherlock's a genius who has a drug problem. Dr. Watson is someone that doesn't know him but then comes along to help in some sort of form or manner, whether it's originally to help him or whether it's on a case. You've got his brother, Mycroft Holmes, that's like a sneaky spy. Again, then you've got Moriarty, his sworn enemy. They do it really well. Again, in Elementary, spoilers, in Elementary, Moriarty's a woman. It turns out to be his girlfriend who fakes her own death and then pops back up later to fuck with his head. In the UK version, Moriarty's a man, very smart man, actually seems to be smarter than Sherlock at points. But yeah, anything involving Sherlock Holmes, I'm a big fan of. I haven't finished Irregulars at the moment. I'm still watching it. I'm on episode 5, 1 season, episode 5. There are, some people don't like watching stuff. There are 8 episodes. Each episode is roughly 50 minutes long. Yeah, each episode is roughly 50 minutes long. It's good. It's good fun. I'd say it's a good watch if you've got nothing to watch. I wouldn't tell you to go out of your way to watch it. I enjoy it for all the elements that I've said. It can get distracting because some of the acting, I don't like blaming children actors for it. And I'm going to try and find out just how young these actors or some of the main cast are. But some of the acting, oh my God. So the guy that plays Leopold is 24. The guy that plays B, who's probably like the main girl in it, she's also 24. I'm trying to find all these. The girl that plays Jessie. Jessie's she's 18. Jessie's probably, no, is she? I was going to say she might be one of the best actresses on there. But the kids acting's shaky at times. Sometimes it's super believable. Sometimes I'm like, was this the first take and they just kept it in because they were running out of time? But at the moment, it's a good watch. I'm enjoying it. If you've got nothing to watch or if you're into Sherlock Holmes or the supernatural, give Irregulars a watch. It's also always dark, so make sure like your blinds are shut, curtains are shut. You ain't got too much light on there, otherwise you're going to be squinting because you can't see anything. But that's that. Oh, I'll save the Marvel stuff towards the end. Godzilla versus King Kong has dropped. Right. On one hand, the movie itself it's a movie. It's a movie. Majority of the movie does seem to focus on the humans. If you've watched Atlanta, the boy that plays Paperboy, the man that plays Paperboy in Atlanta, what's his name? Brian Henry. He's in it. Millie Bobby Brown, she's back in it as Madison. You see her dad for a bit. Julian Dennison, he's in it. If you've seen Deadpool, he plays the fire guy in Deadpool 2. If you've seen Santa Claus 2 on Netflix, the sort of kiddie one, he plays the evil elf that turns good. Spoilers. But there you go. They're all in it. Again, it focuses on the humans. And again, Kong... spoilers. I'm going to say I'm not going to spoil it. Fuck it, the spoilers. Kong's basically on Skull Island. The humans want to take Kong because Kong can get them into the Hollow Earth. If you haven't watched the previous one, so if you haven't watched Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla King of Monsters, don't only watch the last 30 minutes of this movie. Fuck it, I'm not going to explain all the movie. Most of the movie is all set up. It's all humans doing stuff. Humans trying to get Kong from one place to another place so that he can help them get somewhere and get something. You've got the bad guys that are trying to take out Godzilla by creating their own mechanical version of Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla. There's only, I'd say there's three important parts. There's two really important parts. No, there's one really important part, a good part, and then a part. So the part, in order, the first fight scene you see is because they want to transport Kong from Skull Island to Antarctica so that he can help them get through, or he can help them find the Hollow Earth. On the way there, Godzilla notices that he's there. For some strange reason, this is why humans are stupid. They've got King Kong chained up on the boat for safety precautions, I guess. When Godzilla's on the way, they don't unchain him. Godzilla then proceeds to get closer and fuck shit up. They still don't unchain Godzilla, even though someone is saying, yo, unchain him so he can defend himself and defend us. Nope. Boat gets tipped upside down. Kong's upside down underwater. He's drowning. Everyone on the boat's drowning. Some woman swims over, pushes the button. Kong's free, flips the carrier, jumps up. The way Godzilla gets on the carrier is a great shot. Like, he just crawls on. The two titans stand toe to toe, and King Kong just hits him, just cocks it back, whack, smacks Godzilla in his jaw. Godzilla just turns. He comes back and claws the shit out of King Kong, who falls to his back. That should let you know what's going to happen later on in the movie. They have a little fight. It's not that much. A few blows are exchanged. Godzilla's in the water, blows up the shit with his beam. Him and Kong fight underneath the water. I think a missile hits Godzilla to split them up. Kong swims off. They stare at each other. That's fight number one over. From what I remember, there's not really a winner of that fight. Again, it goes underwater, which is Godzilla's element over Kong. That ends. Kong goes to skip ahead however many hours you need to. Kong goes to goes to Hollow Earth. He's in Hollow Earth, which looks amazing. The CGI of Hollow Earth, I personally thought was really amazing. It's like a massive green landscape with mountains, but then there's also an inverted landscape right above it. It looks like it's a mirrored landscape, and there's inverted gravity. It's weird but fun. Kong really dies here. Kong gets saved by humans again. Kong, I hate the way they make Kong look like such a bitch, because Kong he's meant to be a monster. He's meant to be a titan. He's meant to be a god. They make him like a bitch every single time. Like, he goes to the Earth. This big bat thing takes out a plane. Then this big bat, it's like a winged bat dragon sort of thing. It basically wraps itself around Kong and then uses its wing to suffocate Kong. If these humans behind him don't shoot their rockets out of the ship to hit this thing, Kong is dead. But again, they shoot the thing, Kong gets out, wraps this thing up in its own wings. The way Kong beats things up in movies, doesn't matter what movie it is. There's the King Kong with Jack Black in 2006 when he fucks up those 3 dinosaurs, I think. But yeah, when he fucks things up, he fucks them up good and bad. Like, he gets this bat thing, wraps it in its wings so it can't do anything, turns it upside down, and just drops it on its head about 5 times, then just rips it. It's not a kill unless their head gets ripped off. That's the one thing you should take from these monster movies. If a head is not ripped off, that thing is not dead. Kong just rips off its head, eats all its disgusting green insides, keeps it moving. But the final 2 fights, that's all you need to know about Godzilla versus Kong. Spoilers, 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 spoilers again, in case you missed it. I don't know. I'm just gonna check the HBO Max app. I know what you're thinking, Myles, you live in the UK, you can't get HBO Max. Listen, yeah, shut your mouth. That's how I got the movie. That's how I'm sticking to it. He's in Hollow Earth there. Hold on. I'll let you know when it happens. I'm literally skipping through the movie. Now. The fight scene is just... It's the last 30 minutes. It's pretty much the last 30 minutes of Kong versus Godzilla. Kong's got some big axe thing. The first few bits of the fight are very even. It's just blow for blow. It's in Tokyo. It's at night time, but all the buildings are lit up with neon, which means Godzilla looks dope, Kong looks dope, because they've got all these neon lights reflecting off their scales and fur. Oh, it's so good. Kong's atomic breathing at Kong, who's got this special axe that can absorb the power so he doesn't get hit. He's tail whipping him. Kong's using parkour to jump all over buildings and get around him and rip shit off buildings, just use his shields and throw at Godzilla. Like, yo, it is a fight. But then the tides turn, and I don't care what you hear, what you think, who you think should have won. Godzilla beats the shit out of King Kong. I was talking to my friend about this. My friend Steph wanted Kong to win and was pissed off that Kong didn't win. And we were talking about it at football, and he was like, he didn't get beat. Listen, Kong beats the brakes off Godzilla. Kong beats Godzilla so bad that Kong is left laying on the floor with his heartbeat slowing down. Like, without getting into details of the fight, just watch the fight. It ends with Godzilla just whips, pounds, throws, smash, hit. Like, he gets like a 12-hit combo on Kong. Kong falls to the floor. I'm sure Godzilla walks up to him, punches him in his chest or stamps on his chest, and then puts his foot on his chest and just pins Kong down with his foot on his chest and just screams in Kong's face. Kong screams back. I don't have any translation of what was said. To me, when Kong is on the floor, when Godzilla breathes in his face, Godzilla's saying, you thought your axe was going to protect you. You thought your parkour on all these buildings was going to protect you. Now look at you, lying on your back like a bitch. Or he simply took the line from Smokey, puts his foot on his chest, looks Kong dead in his eyes and said, you got knocked the fuck out. Because that's exactly what happened. Kong then screams back at him. I imagine it's like a little brother screaming at the big brother when you're fighting. Just, get off me, I'm telling Mom. We're not fair. Listen, I'm sorry, I love Kong. Don't get me wrong, I love Kong and Zilla. Like, to me, I don't have a favourite. I think they're both amazing monsters, and I'd love for them to be, I don't know if I'd love them to be real, but if they were real, I'd be pro them, okay? I'd be pro them, but no, I'm sorry, Godzilla beats the brakes off Kong to the point where, like I said, Godzilla just leaves him. He just leaves him lying on the floor, walks off about his business. Kong is, his heartbeat slowing down, he opens his eye, like goes to sit up and then falls back down, he opens his eyes are closed. Kong's just left there dying. While Kong is left there dying, here comes Mechagodzilla, the real bad of this movie. Apex, who you see in Godzilla King of Monsters, the people that went round waking up all these titans in the old movie, they're back under new management. They've created Mechagodzilla using the skull of King Ghidorah, who's the big three-headed dragon that Godzilla goes nuclear to kill in the King of Monsters movie. You see the Lannister guy take the skull. They use that to build/merge with the Mechagodzilla. As you can imagine, just like what happens in Transformers when they use Megatron to a bit of old Megatron tech, it gets corrupted. Mechagodzilla looks into this building, snatches the bat, or just swipes at the guy that created him and kills him. Mechagodzilla is now thinking. He is not here to play games. Listen, I don't care how you feel about movies. If you like a good fight or some good action, just go and watch Godzilla vs. Kong for the last 30 minutes. The fight scene, because Mechagodzilla breaks out of some mountain, fucks up everything inside. He's got an atomic breath, which is stronger than Godzilla's atomic breath, which is just like what happens in the older movies. And he's not even fighting anyone. He just comes out, burn down Tokyo. Oh, look, more Tokyo. Burn it down. He burns down everything. Godzilla looks at him. He looks at Godzilla. They run at each other. Mechagodzilla has like boosters to help him jump and punch. He's got rockets that are coming out of everywhere. You know how I told you Godzilla beats the brakes off King Kong? Mechagodzilla beats the dog shit out of Godzilla. Mechagodzilla is giving Godzilla the hands, the work, the business, whatever phrase or slang you use to instigate someone got beat up badly. Ooh, this is what is happening. Like, he's getting beat up to the point where the humans are like, he needs help. They use some ship, they blow up some ship on King Kong's chest. It brings him back to life. It's like a defibrillator. I don't know the science behind it. Kong comes back to life. Some little girl who's befriended is like, Godzilla is our friend. That guy is the enemy. Please believe me. Kong's like, all right then, let me go help out Godzilla. Mechagodzilla is at the point where he's about to kill Godzilla. Kong comes in to save him. So we thought, Mechagodzilla starts giving them both the work. I'm talking it's 2-on-1, and Mechagodzilla is just saying, Kong, get off me. Zilla, get these hands. And then Kong comes back, so he's like, you know what, Zilla, you go sit down. Kong, you can now get these hands and feet. He is fucking them up left, right, and center. And the only reason, only reason Kong and Godzilla are able to overpower and defeat Mechagodzilla, yeah, you guessed it. I was going to flip something, but there's nothing to flip. The fucking humans. Once again, it's a monster movie that's meant to be about monsters, but the whole fucking focus is on the humans, it seems like. Even the point of where Mechagodzilla is online. So because he's online, he's still connected to some satellites. So they pour alcohol. This is how it happens. This is how it happens. Godzilla's being fucked up somewhere. Kong is doing something. They pour this alcohol, they pour alcohol over the computer. It malfunctions. This malfunction fucks up Mechagodzilla for like 5 seconds. Godzilla breathes his flame into Kong's axe thing. All of a sudden, Kong's now a badass out of nowhere. Kong's like, woof, there goes your arm. Whack, there goes your other arms. Cut out your stomach on the floor. Grips your head, and Kong just rips off Mechagodzilla's head and lets off an almighty scream. One thing that confused me, Mechagodzilla was screaming when he got his arms cut off. You don't have nerves. You're a machine. You don't have feelings. You can't feel these things. That's what made you so bloody. That's what made you so... I know I've just spoiled it for you that haven't watched it, but the fight scene is really good. Go and watch it. But the verdict is in. The question that everyone has been asking ever since they released the first Godzilla movie and said that they were going to do like a whole monsterverse. Who would win out of a fight between Godzilla and King Kong? The answer's in. It's Godzilla. And that's on land. It's on land. The first fight they have is in water / on an air carrier. And Godzilla does start getting the better of him when they're in the water. But then again, humans break it up. They split up and go their separate ways. When Kong goes to the Hollow Earth, he gets this axe. The blade of the axe is made of the back spines of Godzilla. Not the Godzilla we know. I think it's like one of their ancestral Godzillas. Which is why when Godzilla shoots his beam, he can use that. He absorbs it. It's like a shield, but he also absorbs the beam because he clots Godzilla on his head with it at one point. Causes like a massive explosion. But yeah, my one friend was like, yeah, but Godzilla's got atomic breath, he's got a tail, he's got this, he's got that. Yes, that's why he should win. Kong went and got a special axe and still got the shit beat out of him. There are some good, again, I don't want to ruin it because there are so many good moments. Like there's a bit where every time Godzilla goes to use atomic breath, Kong just grabs his mouth so he can't do it. Like Kong goes to rip his jaw off and then realizes that his mouth's open, so then he shuts it. At one point, Godzilla opens his mouth and Kong just gets the handle of the axe and just sticks it down his throat. Listen, it's a great monster fight. Go and watch it. Poor Kong. I mean, he gets the final victory, kind of, because he, like, dismembers. That's the word I'm thinking of. He dismembers Mechagodzilla, then rips off Mechagodzilla's head. Again, he wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of Godzilla, but I suppose Kong gets the final victory, killing Mechagodzilla. But yeah, that last 30 minutes, it's some good fighting of Kong beating the shit out of... No, Godzilla beating the shit out of Kong, and then Mechagodzilla beating the shit out of Godzilla, and then him beating the shit out of both of them. Humans to the rescue. They finish Mechagodzilla. They both look at each other. Kong drops the axe. And again, Godzilla wins because you've got the first fight, which I'd give to Godzilla. The second fight, Godzilla pins him down and screams, "You got knocked the fuck out," in his face. When it's all said and done, they look at each other. Kong drops his axe. Godzilla turns his back on Kong and just walks off back into the water. And then at the end of the film, Kong has gone back to the Hollow Earth. So the way it seems to me is like Godzilla whooped his ass on Earth and was like, okay, you go live back down in Hollow Earth. I will remain up here as I am the king of Kong. I am the king of kings. I am the god. I am the be-all and end-all. Sorry, Kong fans. I'm a Kong fan as well, but the W goes to Godzilla. Again, the movie, I wouldn't watch it for the movie. If you've got nothing else to do, by all means, watch it. But just the last 30 minutes of that movie is everything you need. Everything you need. Everything you need. What's next? Loki. A new Loki trailer has dropped. I'm just getting There is so much Marvel, it feels like. We've had WandaVision. We're now currently going through Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I'll touch on at the end of this. But yeah, the Loki trailer drop, it looks so good. Tom Middleston, whatever Tom's name is, the guy that plays Loki. Fantastic actor. Owen Wilson is in it as one of the Time... I can't remember what their official title's called, but he's working for like some Time agency. And basically the story seems to be in Endgame when Hulk angrily opens the door and hits Tony Stark, who sends the Tesseract flying into Loki's feet. When Loki picks it up, he creates a bunch of broken timelines. The people that are in charge of this are getting Loki to help them. There's something called a Loki variation, which I'm not too sure what that is, so I can't wait for this to actually start. But they believe, for some reason, that Loki... I don't know if they either believe, one, Loki can help, or Loki's the only one that can help. Because again, the guy says in the trailer, like, I've literally watched all of your life. You've literally stabbed people in the back about 50 times. So you know Loki's not to be trusted, but they're trusting him, I think, or using him as bait. Who knows? I don't have a theory. Maybe they're using Loki in the hopes that Thor will come and help him, or maybe they're using Loki because, again, he caused it, so only he can fix it, or maybe he knows something. Maybe his conniving ways are the ways that you'll be able to fix it, but that comes out in June. So again, you've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think there's 3 more episodes of that, and then there's like a break. There's like a break for like a week or 2. And then Loki comes out. We've also got the Black Widow movie dropping soon. It's been so long since I've sat there and watched a Marvel movie. Like, again, we've had WandaVision, we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier in a minute, but I've missed a Marvel movie. It's been over a year since we've seen one. We usually get like 1 or 2 a year. This time we've got none. So yeah, I can't wait for Black Widow to drop. That looks like an exciting film as well. Because I think they dropped a new trailer for Black Widow early last week. And then they dropped this Loki trailer over the weekend, I want to say. But yeah, it's looking good. And then finally, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It is all about the action. So again, last week I wasn't feeling the best. So I just spoke about Seaspiracy and kept it moving. Sidebar, I've been watching battle raps recently. And every time they wanted like say something that's not what they say, sidebar. So sidebar, conspiracy. I'm sure I said it last week. I said it on my Instagram. It was right there. I don't know whether there was like a trademark or if they couldn't use it, but Seaspiracy is a cool name, but conspiracy, right there. Who works in your marketing department? I believe they would have thought of it. It makes sense that they would have thought of it and they couldn't use it for some strange reason. But conspiracy was right there, not Seaspiracy. Anyway, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So yeah, episode 2 was a good one, actually. We found out about Isaiah. I need to watch I've only watched it once. I normally watch these twice. I need to watch it twice because where I got lost was Black Isaiah. Isaiah was a black Captain America. So like he was someone that got the super serum. I do believe he was after Captain Rogers, Captain America, only because Bucky originally thought to have been dead once Steve Rogers was already Captain America. He was then picked up by Hydra, and then Isaiah came in. So what I think's happened is Captain America put him up, the war came, he dropped that ship into the ocean, they thought they lost him forever. So we're like, right, let's create a new serum and create some more super soldiers like Captain America. They crafted Isaiah. He was like, I took half of the Winter Soldier's arm. He was a dope-ass soldier, and no one ever knew about him. Sam was pissed, and rightly you would be like, yo, there was a black superhero, and no one told me about it. That would have made me, and again, if Sam knew there was a black Captain America, or a black superhero anyway, would he have been so reluctant to give up the shield? Part of me still like, one bit of me is like, and I think like Sam's split in half. The half of him was like, this is Captain America's, this is Steve's shield, it's not mine, it belongs to someone else. The other bit of me also feels like Sam was thinking, it's Captain America, like, Captain America, you're the face of America, and the face of America doesn't feel right being a black person when you consider what America is in America's history. But yeah, this Isaiah, he was kept a secret. He goes on about how he served his country, and what did he get for it? He got locked up for 30 years. 3 decades, 30 years, he got locked up for helping his country. He was on about how the CIA ran tests on him, Hydra ran tests on him, which then leads into episode 3 because it seems that the new super soldiers, that serum was created from Isaiah's blood, it appears. That's how I took it from that as well. Again, we found out a bit more about the Flag Smashers. They're going around taking vaccine. Again, a storyline was dropped. So I think there was meant to be some sort of disease or something, but because of COVID, they dropped the storyline, which is why they keep stealing vaccines, but they don't tell you what these vaccines are for. But yeah, they're going around stealing vaccines from people who they believe don't deserve it and giving it to poor and ill children across America. I won't say across America, but they go to Russia at one point. So they're all over the world, it seems, just going everywhere. They're like Robin Hood, robbing from the rich, giving to the poor, all these vaccines. At the end of season 2 as well, we also know it's a power broker. So it seems... Oh yeah, and then episode 3, it gets confirmed. I'm trying to talk about them individually, but it's not working for me. So I'm just going to talk about them all as one big episode. And if I remember what episode it came from, then I'll tell you. But yeah, you've got, what's her name? Carly. So Carly, we don't know anything about Carly yet. All we know is that Carly is a flag smasher. She stole these serums from someone called the Power Broker, who we have no idea who he is yet, but she stole all these things from the Power Broker. She then obviously used it on herself and a few other people to give them the super strength and super speed, very similar to what Captain America had, just without enhancing their body. The Power Broker found this out, so the Power Broker's now after them and trying to kill them. That's who's after them in episode 2. That's who the guy rings at the very end when they pull up at the airport and they shoot down that one guy. They're working for the Power Broker, so it'd be really interesting to find out who the Power Broker is and what he wanted these serums for originally as well. What else happens? I've covered off Isaiah. I've covered off the serums. Episode 3. I literally watched episode 3 the other day, but again, episode 2 and 3 I've only watched once at the minute, so my memory's not all there. But yeah, episode 3. Oh yeah, at the end of episode 2, they've got no leads, so Bucky's like, we need to go and get Zemo. Sam disagrees. Start episode 3. Bucky has broke out Zemo without telling Sam. At the minute, Zemo is helping. There was one scene later on where like a big shootout happens and like he takes out people. I thought he was just going to run. He finds a car. I thought he was just going to drive off and leave them, but no, he picks them all back up. Sharon Carter's back. So they're basically on a trail to try and find out where these super serums come from, why they were created. You find out that the Power Broker got basically someone from the CIA someone was working for the CIA. He was creating these serums. Apparently they weren't working and Winter Soldier killed them, something like that. He then goes over to some made up city, which off the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to pronounce because I couldn't pronounce it when they were saying it. It's like Magaragawa or Magu, it's something. I can't see it on my phone, but it's basically called something. So Sam and Bucky go over there with Zemo. Bucky's got to pretend to be the Winter Soldier so they can sort of like lie their way up to someone called Shelby or Selby. Again, trying to find out who all these super serums are coming from, what's going on. Sam gets a phone call from his sister. He has to put it on loudspeaker. Phone call ends. She's like, I'll talk to you later, Sam. She's like, who's Sam? He's not a smiling tiger. Kill him. Boom. Selby gets killed, which puts a massive hit on everyone's head. They then shoot their way out the building, get out the building. Again, there's someone in the window ducking people down that are after them. Turns out it's Sharon Carter. We haven't seen Sharon Carter since Civil War, I believe, because she got in trouble for helping out Sam and Cap. So like when Sam, Cap, and Bucky went on the run, you had Bucky and Wakanda being pumped back up full of whatever. Bucky and Sam and Black Widow. No. Sam, Captain America, and Black Widow, Vision, and Wanda, they were all wanted, so they were all on the run in hiding. Again, Stephen, Natasha, Black Widow, were keeping a track on, what's her name, Vision and Wanda. That's the whole end game. Infinity War scene with the knife through his back, and he can't phase him. All of that good stuff on there. So yeah, Sharon Carter's in it. Did she take a serum? I have the sneaking suspicion she took a serum because she was kicking ass. She's kicking ass and taking names. I think that's what they're saying. But yeah, she beat up anyone that got close to her. She beat them up, disarmed them, shot them, did everything that she needed to do. They escaped. We also see from the other side of Wyatt Russell, aka the new Captain America, the waste man that he is, the one that no one likes. He's getting angrier and angrier. Like at one point, he's talking to someone. The guy doesn't know what he's saying, so he gets his friend to translate. He then spits on him. He's like, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "Yes, I know who you are, but I don't care." Gets mad. This Wyatt Russell, I feel like he understands that. Obviously, Bucky and Sam don't give a shit about him because he's not their Captain America. I don't know if he feels like he needs more respect, if he needs more power. He's definitely turning evil. By episode 6, I have 2 theories. By episode 6, he's either one, just going to turn evil, and that's going to lead into something else. I've got to think right. My 2 theories is that Captain America's going to turn evil and Bucky's going to kill him and take the shield off him. Or he's either going to turn evil or he's not going to turn evil. He's just going to be teetering on the line and Zemo's going to kill him because Zemo didn't have a personal problem with Captain America. He had an issue with the whole super soldier serum. That's why he says in this to Bucky, it wasn't personal. Like it was nothing against Bucky. He was just doing this to do this. And so yeah, I feel like either Bucky or Zemo is going to kill Wyatt Russell, aka the new Captain America, at some point before this ends. Because again, we've seen trailers with Bucky and Sam with the shield that we haven't seen. So we know Sam gave up the shield in episode 1. From the trailers, we know they get the shield back somehow. Do they take it off Wyatt? Do they steal it off him? Does he get killed and they take it? They just relieve him of it that way? Who knows? And then, at the final parts of episode 3, when they're going to this building, Bucky's walking behind Sam. Bucky sees what's it called? Something bead. I was going to say an Okoye bead, but I'm sure that's the name of the... Okoye is the name of someone else. Kimoyo beads. Yeah, Kimoyo beads. You see them in a Black Panther and Infinity War. No, Civil War, I think. But you see them in Black Panther, the Kimoyo beads. He sees one of them. It's beeping. Picks it up. Keeps walking. Sees another one. Turns them like back in a bit. Walks through some alleyways and is like, I was wondering when you would show up. Turns around. And who would be stood behind him? Again, I froze them because I was going to say something. But who would be stood behind him? It would obviously be one of the soldiers from Wakanda. Hold on, let me see if I can find out what her name was in this. Give me 2 secs. Adipro Adoyi. I'm going to say it's Adoyi. You do see her I'm sure she is in Black Panther. She's not one of the main ones in Black... She's not. I did think... Hold on a minute. I'm looking now to see what movies this woman has been in. Because when I seen her, I knew you're from Wakanda. Obviously, you're the Black Panthers people then. But looking at this list, the woman that appears wasn't in Black Panther. And I did think this, because when she turned up, it wasn't Okoye, the leader of the things. It wasn't Lupe Nyong'o's character that played Black Panther's love interest. I have a sneaking suspicion. It's not my suspicion. Someone said it on a YouTube video I watched, and I like their theory. Their theory was that they think it was meant to originally have been Chadwick as Black Panther that turns up and says, I want Zemo. But obviously, rest in peace, God bless his soul, Chadwick passed away. They may have reshot it, which is why you don't see Bucky when Bucky turns around, like you don't see him talking, and they think it's all reshot. But yeah, she's there and she's like, I'm here for Zemo, or I want Zemo. And then it ends. Falcon the Winter Soldier. 3 episodes left. 4, 5, or 6. Zemo's out of prison. We know Sharon Carter. Again, we're halfway through, and what we've got is Zemo's in it now. He's out of prison. And at the minute, he's working with Sam and Bucky. The Wakandans, or at least one person from Wakanda, knows Zemo is out. They've probably been following Bucky or something, and they now want Zemo. So are they going to kill Zemo? They're going to take him back to Wakanda? Are they going to wait for them to finish their mission, then take out Zemo? Is Zemo going to disappear before they get the chance? Who knows? Sharon Carter, we know that she was exiled, but she knows more than she's letting on, Because again, when shit kicks off, she gets in the car with some woman and some woman's like, we got a problem. She's like, yeah, two. I'll explain on the way. So again, Sharon might not be as innocent as she seems. There are theories that she's the power broker. I don't agree. She could be working with the power broker or know who the power broker is, though. I accept that. And again, Wyatt Russell, the new Captain America, he seems to be falling apart bit by bit because he's not getting the respect that he feels that he deserves. He doesn't seem to have the power that he feels that he deserves. It's good. I'm thoroughly enjoying this season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But that brings us to an end of another podcast episode. Thank you all so much for rocking with me. Don't forget, if you're listening to this podcast, follow wherever you are listening to. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give me a like as well. Drop a comment. Let me know you're watching it. Let me know your thoughts. Get at me. Share this video to a friend and tell your friends to tell another friend, so on and so forth. I've been Myles. This has been the MylesHighClub podcast. Until the next time, peace.